and then I'll probably start follower games right after. That's my bet. It's not like I'm going to be sweating it out in this tourney. It's just for fun. So whenever I'm landing in a compound or pretty much any scenario, I'm going to be looking around the sky to try to see as many people as I can and see their landing positions. That information is extremely crucial. Right here I see this guy land across, so I instantly get behind cover in case he gets a gun before I do. I pick up a weapon, and now I try to 3-peek and spot him. I see he doesn't have anything, so I shoot. What? Super simple engagement, but what you always want to try to do is get cover, get a weapon, just get out of line of sight of anybody else, because RNG, you may not get something, they may get something great. You know the drill. And I wish you could add like a red dot to this gun. Rock it all day, every day. So by this time, I have moved down to town from the hospital. I'm just trying to get better loot than an M16 and a Tommy gun. I want like a K9 or some range, and then I'd like, you know, like an AK or a barrel, because that's my favorite kit. South George. And I don't hear any shots. I know that a couple people landed in South George. I don't see them. I don't hear them. I can't spot anybody, so I'm going to go for a vehicle. Just paying attention to the kill feed and the shots. I haven't seen anybody die, so I'm assuming there's someone still around. I got the feeling that someone was watching me and they're gonna K9 me. And bam, there you go, the guy tries it. What did I say? At this point, I only know the general direction. I don't really know where he is. What I'm about to do is not something I'd recommend, but I pull up on this house because I know he's in this line of houses, and I wait, just try to hear. And I heard him running up. This guy's gonna try to cane on me. And I just 3-peeked and shot him with a soft aim, which is the easiest thing to do with the Tommy gun. Overall, that was a very simple engagement because he made it simple. If you watch the PUBG report from his perspective, I did a very good job of staying out of his line of sight. From his perspective, he couldn't even see me from behind that cover until I peeked with my Tommy gun. I saw your clip you sent me. That was pretty dope. What I would recommend is getting really good at subconsciously or the muscle memory of hiding in cover without people seeing. The easiest way to do this or get good at this is switching to first person. Oops. So many times you'll have people who play in third person and think they're in cover when they're actually not in cover because they're not used to first person. In first person, you'll be able to see them, and if they can see you or you can see them, you know, vice versa. And if you're an experienced first-person player, you'll know, hey, they can see me at this point, even if you're in third person. And that's a skill that most people really need to learn. I mean, I was expecting like a quick scope K9, and then you missed the shot and you pulled out a nade. I'm like, poor man. Poor man. Dude, Bailey, you should have seen last game. I got like 4 drive-by kills in the same field. So this engagement is interesting. It's out of the norm. It's just for fun. What I did here is very, very good. I saw him. I instantly pulled up and stopped. I potato a little bit. I need to like sit like I'm actually the location that I stopped on was extremely good, simply because I have places where he can where I can shoot, and he's in the open. Right here, he hard peeks. If you have a K9 and you're good at quick scoping, easy kill. I potatoed here too. I thought I hit him in the cheek. Bummer. So I instantly go for the body since I can't reliably hit the head, and then I push with the Tommy because I obviously have the advantage. The guy knows it, and he just gives up right here. What you always want to do when you're pulling up on a compound is absolutely make sure you beat whoever you're pulling up on to the wall. If they beat you to the wall, you're most likely either going to die or get hurt, and you're going to be at a disadvantage in the engagement that you get in. What I do here is I just try to toy with him. I don't want to run up and punch him because he might like just instantly hit me in the face. So I just decide to put him out of his misery. Oh my god. Hey, sounds good, Bailey. Have fun cleaning the garage. So at this point I had heard the shot, and this is obviously a very popular compound, whether it's solos, duos, or squads. So what I do is I pull up on the edge of the hill because this is a very defensible position for me. People have to push out in the open on the left. People can't even push the hill on the right. They have to go down and take a lesser position below me on the ground, just because of how steep the hill is. What I'm doing here, I normally should be like crouching around, moving a bit more. I spot him up on the 3 stack. I aim, I line it up, and then I pop up. So that is a very important skill to learn, guys. The fact that I aimed at ADS before I even peek, that's a skill especially used in FPP fights. And I just lined it up to where I thought he would be. I was a little bit off. I corrected with like a micro correction to the right, and I headshot him. Anybody hard peeking when you have a K9 and they don't have a level 3 helmet, those are kills that you should always be getting, and that's something you should definitely practice because that'll save your life, especially in really dire scenarios. As you can see here, this guy's just driving around. I have a silenced Tommy gun. He can't even hear my shots, so I just decided to pepper the car because I'm going to switch weapons to whatever this guy had, and I've got a 50 round mag. Like, why not? Why not shoot at him? Hey, we got an AK, baby. So at this point, I hear shots at Alamo, and I decided to get in my vehicle and go because it's a better position than what I have now, and I want to get in some more action. I know that he just finishes the fight when I pull up, so instead of crashing right on the compound where other people might be able to shoot me, I decided to get a bit further from the wall and take a more easily defensible position where he can really only nade me or hit me with like a shot if I do a bad peek, right here. I see him go up to the wall, so I instantly prepare a nade because that's a bad push if he's not hurt, healing, whatever it is. I prime it, and I throw it. Right there. He threw a good nade as well, and he probably didn't even think that I saw him go up to the wall. He played that very well, like I say in the video. Really well, though, guys, if you watch any of my streams, you'll understand that throwing nades is a essential skill. I would say that I'm one of the best players on T4 at throwing nades. It's all about the prime. You need to get good at just the muscle memory of knowing this guy's, 20 meters away, 30 meters away. I need to prime it this long to not allow them to hear the bounce so that I can get that insta down. Whether it's comp, whether it's pub, especially in squads when you're in a fight, I mean, getting that down with a frag is essential. Absolutely essential. Right here, I take the bike just because it's more mobile, and my vehicle is just a bit low on gas. I hop on the bike and I go to yellow just because it's central compound. It's a good position, and I think there will be people there. Everybody's camping the vehicles. Alrighty, so I can see vehicles all around the compound. I decided to pull up on this wall because people don't really sit on this wall very much. They're normally in the 2 stack. They're over in the left in those vehicle graveyard type area, or they're on the 1 stack. So this is usually the safest part of the compound to pull up. Whenever I pull up to a compound, I always try to pull up on the side with the least populated side. It's very rare that you'll see me pull up on a compound where all the action is happening. Yeah, you may get more kills, but you're most likely going to die too because it's easy to kill someone hopping out of a vehicle. What you see me doing right here is running around the compound and trying to be a bit patient. I'm not instantly running in the 2 stack to clear it. I'm not doing anything besides trying to find the people in the compound. What I do right here is bait. If I do decide to take a shot right here, it would just be to bait out the guy who's in the compound. I am not actively trying to get another kill while there's a guy in this compound with me. So, he's just camping, man. He's just waiting. So you have to just be a bit more patient. All too often in TPP, and especially in games like PUBG, the guy who's more patient is going to win. Out in the open over there. Doesn't matter how good I am. If this guy, gets a 3 peek on me and I don't know he's there and he's a barrel or Uzi, whatever it is, I'll die. So right here, I position right there. I position my bike between myself and the bad guy. It might not save me all the time, but it did that time. Right there is very important. You didn't see me instantly go to loot. You didn't see me instantly go to boost or heal or anything. I knew there was another guy in the compound. I instantly went to 3-peeking and trying to find the guy who's probably going to push. Usually people who camp like that will take advantage of any weakness, and he probably thought I was low or distracted, whatever it is, and he pushed, and that got him killed.
In a tournament, Rams.
That's where being patient pays off. That luckily the guy who pulled up in the dossier acted as bait for me, and I was able to exploit that. What you saw me do right there is just check where I saw a guy previously. I knew that he was in a fight. He was probably getting shot. I mean, that's a very active location. So I decided to take a peek, and I got lucky with the guy proned out trying to heal or boost.
I'm still kind of unhappy, dude. He hurt my try. He hurt my.
So what I'm thinking right now is, you know, I've got 220 rounds. I'm pretty good on rounds. My armor is pretty dang good as well. I've got 8 other people up. I've got center compound until zone closes. Let's see where it goes. And it goes to the shack. So I have a motorcycle. There's no reason why I shouldn't go to the shack and try to take it. And that is where I eventually do go. I would always advise trying to take central position. The tricky things with shacks is that if there's someone in there and you get in a long drawn out fight, you're probably going to die from a third party. So you really need to end that fight quickly if there is someone already in the shack or pushing the same shack that you're going to.
Almost. What's this? Is that a hard shack? It is a hard shack. Ooh. I knew I heard someone, dude. Freaking redonkulous. Damn it.
So even though the motorcycle would be more agile and quicker, I decided to take the dossier just so I have a bit more cover if I do have to get out of the shack. I pull it right up on the shack. I try to 3-peek the shack to see if there's anybody inside before I do go in. Right there, you see me jump up. I don't see anybody, so I pretty much know it's safe unless there's like some super sneaky dude tucked in the corner.
My shack.
At this point, it's just a waiting game. You have center position. Baby. No one's going to throw a nade through that window. They might need the door and get a nade through the door, but, you know, they'd have to be close, and you can actively engage them at that point. At this point, though, you have the best position. You are pretty much set until end game, as long as Circle's kind. Now, it's all about gathering information.
Test my shack combat
You're seeing me move around. I don't necessarily need to move around that much because that hill isn't too tall. But if there's ever a hill above you to where people can see through your window and headshot you, even if you're crouched, you'd really need to be careful of that. Because people will pay attention to it and try to get that. There you see me try to scab a kill. So I do know that there's a guy up the hill.
Probably one up there.
I'm guessing there's a guy 35. There's definitely a guy 260.
Yep.
And there we go.
One up there.
Now that I've gathered all the information, I know there's a guy 260, and then there's also a guy more southeast. At that point, I'm sandwiched, but it's not that bad of a situation because one of the guys is going to push me, and as long as I win that fight, it's a 1v1, and I have the superior position.
Good news and bad news. The guy up at 280, who if I was him, I'd probably be moving over there. It's a DP. Either he's going to roast me with it, or he's going to miss. If he hits me, it's going to hurt a lot. The guy down there, I think, has a scar or something. I don't know. It's not like they got like a bolty and they're good with it. I hope. Nothing like to worry about majorly. He's nading the package, thinking there's someone on it. I haven't even seen the guy up there.
So now at this point, the end of the match is upon us, and I am waiting to spot one of the two guys. I'm guessing the guy is going to push right and try to take the trees because there's more cover. There's really no reason why you should push across open field towards my shack. And there I spot him.
That guy Gilly didn't know where I am.
He sees me. I don't have a level 2 helmet, or I don't have a level 3 helmet, so I'm careful about my peaks in case he quick scopes me. I try to put as much damage on him as possible to incentivize the other guy to my right, the third guy alive, to help me with this fight.
What?
Right there, what you saw me do is an awesome skill to learn, guys. It's all about priming your nade. If there's someone behind cover over there, and you're inside a shack, just prime a nade inside the shack, open the door, walk out, throw the nade, go back in the shack. It's very unlikely they'll kill you in the time it takes you to toss that nade and get back inside. It's much more reliable than trying to like quick peek him like I am here.
Yes! We're the best! We're the best team ever!
I team up with that guy to kill the gillied guy who was the biggest threat. And bam! I see him hard peeking me, so I quick scope. What you saw me do there again is I ADS before I peek. I peek using the right analog stick,
got singled
and I headshot. Another skill to learn, guys, is the further back you sit from an object that you're peeking from, the less that the enemy will be able to see.
GG.